What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Bodacious Rant. Hopefully, everybody's having a fantastic weekend and week. I know I'm excited this week, not just because, we're going to get more Mando, but we're also getting John Wick Chapter 4, so I cannot wait for that. I'm trying to die down the hype level because I don't want to get disappointed by it, so I got to phase it all out of my mind by come
Just
Friday.
put it in your mindset. No other action franchise has been 4 movies and been any good. So this one is probably gonna be horrible, despite the rave reviews.
Oh my god. Well, I mean, it's definitely on a better track than, like, let's say the Fast and Furious movies. Because by the 4th one, I'm like, those were kind of just whatever. Die Hard at the 4th one kind of saved it because 3 was whatever. I've never seen 3 or 2. I'll think about the action movies later. Right now, we're going to talk some Shazam Fury of the Gods that just released this last weekend, which is the sequel to the Shazam of 2019. And what else? That's pretty much it. So we're going to dive into it. This is a non-spoiler review, so do not worry. We won't spoil anything for you guys. But before we talk about our thoughts and stuff on the movie, please do not forget to give us a like, ring the bell, and of course subscribe just to keep the conversations going. And let's just keep nerding out together, shall we? And so basically, this movie does take place a couple years after the first one. So presumably, if it took place in 2018, 2019, this is now like 2020, 2021, however you want to look at it. And Billy and the group of kids are all growing up, kind of going their own, living their lives, and Billy's trying to struggle hold together until a new threat comes along, which is the Daughters of Atlas coming to reclaim Earth, essentially. And that's pretty much all I can say without spoiling much more. And some of the biggest additions to the cast are going to be Helen Mirren, Lucy Liu, and Rachel Zegler. Am I saying that? Zegler? Is that
yeah, Zegler, I believe.
Zegler? Okay, cool. Those are like the biggest 3 names to add on to this movie. And I want to say this is not it wasn't horrible. It was fun. It was entertaining. I had some good laughs out of it. But then there were plenty of parts I was just like, oh, good God, this is what you guys came up with. But from what I've been looking up, I don't know if you'll agree with me, Bern. This just sounds like a movie that was basically just... It was a giant paycheck for everybody involved, so I kind of felt that a little bit throughout the film, like for some parts at least. What did you think of it?
Overall, I thought it was decent. It was very a very okay movie, which is a stark contrast to the first movie, which I thought had a lot of heart and had a lot of passion behind it. With David Sandberg, directing his first superhero movie, he came from the horror side of things, much like James Wan did, going from his horror movies to Aquaman. And I thought the first movie was really surprisingly delightful, and I think a lot of people really enjoyed that one, in particular, in comparison to a lot of the other DC stuff we were getting at the time. The first Shazam was a pretty shining light amongst a lot of the darkness that a lot of people were giving DC shit for. So, and I guess deservedly so on certain aspects. I tended to like it, but that it's a matter of taste things. But I'm not going to get into that aspect of it. But the first Shazam was really good, and this one, yeah, I guess it does kind of come off that way. I don't know what reports you're referring to. I haven't read them personally, but yeah, this one just seemed like it was sort of just like a paint by numbers superhero movie. You kind of know what you're getting into with this one coming in. It feels a lot more standard than the first movie did, which that one was very small in scale and very personal in stakes, and this one just feels like, okay, they're doing a superhero sequel thing where everything's got to be bigger. Everything's bumped up a notch in terms of the action and the visuals and the characters involved and the stakes. It's like, it just felt like it kind of, in a way that Ant-Man 3 lost that Ant-Man identity from 1 and 2, this one feels like it sort of lost the personal story of the first one, and this is only the second one in, and that was kind of unfortunate, I think.
Yeah, like I said, I mean, it just felt like, okay, we're checking off all the boxes and stuff, so this movie's serviceable. It's still fun. Is it worth the theater stuff? It really depends. I saw it in Dolby, and I thought it was pretty, I thought it was pretty cool in that one. Yeah, like I said, I'm on the fence on it. It's definitely better than like Black Adam and kind of half the Marvel movies that have been released in the last few years. That's my genuine opinion on it. I would definitely watch this over like Eternals, Black Adam. I'm trying to think some of the other Marvel movies that was just a little disappointing. Basically, some of the other
Well,
ones.
like I guess in comparison to Ant-Man 3, did you enjoy this one more than that one?
Oh, absolutely. Oh yeah.
Okay,
If I had the choice to
I
see
agree.
one or the other, I'm gonna go see Shazam 2 again. I would rather watch that just because. I mean, again, I still like Marvel stuff, and I love DC too. I'm really hopeful that James Gunn can kind of salvage what's left of it. I know there's a lot of, just people trying to mudsling it already, and people have no faith in it. But James Gunn, I feel like he's nerdy enough where he's like DC's Kevin Feige, or at least I hope so. We have to see. We're gonna have to wait to see how Superman Legacy comes out, and then also the hype with Flash coming out, especially since Tom Cruise saw it and he had to call Andy Muschietti saying, "Dude, I love this movie. It was amazing." So, with all that being said, because it's such a like a checkbox movie, but it did have some serviceable elements to it, I'm gonna give it a 3 out of 5, just because it was good, just not great and not bad. Definitely not bad in any way. Some stuff was just super cheesy, not as well written, but I still had fun with it. What about you?
I mean, the action was pretty fun, and the humor was definitely a little bit more hit or miss this time around. But the humor that does hit really hit. Like this movie, I will say, has one of the biggest laughs so far of the year for me. So I did really enjoy that aspect. Um, because this movie centers around the adult versions of the characters a little more, I did kind of miss the more the kid aspect of it. In particular, Asher Angel, I believe the one that plays Kid Billy. Zachary Levi takes more of the lead in this one as opposed to in the first one where it was a little bit more divided evenly, I think. And that was kind of unfortunate because I think in that sense it did lose a little bit of the soul. And not that Zachary Levi is bad or anything. I mean, he's very entertaining, he's very fun, and you can tell he's having fun in the role. It just, it loses a little bit of that heart or a little bit of that groundedness that the Ash Angel brought to the role. Helen Mirren, I had thought she had a lot of fun as the villain. I really, in particular, enjoyed her. Lucy Liu, not as much, unfortunately. It is really cool seeing her in a movie again, in particular, a big blockbuster movie. Since the last one I can think of that she was in was probably the Charlie's Angels movies. Here, I wasn't that fond of her acting decisions. I don't know if it was, an acting thing or if it was a directing thing. To me, she didn't come across as strong as Helen Mirren or Rachel Zegler, who I thought was also really good. But yeah, I guess overall, this is just one of those paint by numbers superhero movies, and unfortunately, I think in the time that we're in now, when it comes to those things, we should expect more, and we should be getting a little bit more than that. So, this is going to be a tough one for me, but I'm stuck between a 2 and a 3. But I think right now I'm going to go ahead and give it a 2, just because there was a lot of aspects of it that rubbed me the wrong way, and I know the creative team behind this is they have better behind them, and I think this one was just a little bit of a miss, unfortunately.
Yeah, and I liked Lucy Liu in it. I thought it was nice to see her in it's just been a while since I've really seen her in anything, so it was quite pleasant.
Yeah.
And I think them, Helen Mirren, and Rachel's I think they had great chemistry with the rest of the cast. So that was I thought that was quite pleasant, really. But man, that's fair. I was literally thinking like he's gonna go for a 2. I already fucking know it. Not that it's a bad thing. I was just like it's gonna be a 2. I know you so well, Bern. I'm already in your brain. It's called brain control.
I would give it the first Shazam a 4, and I really enjoyed that one. But it felt like a weird step back. Usually with these movies you want to see a little bit more progression, and with the bigger budget you want to see them be able to execute a little bit more. But in this one, it just felt like a lot of the personality and stuff from the first movie just wasn't present here for me, and it just kind of got lost in the spectacle of it all, I think. But I mean, someone might enjoy that more, like if someone wants to come in and just have a really cool superhero action movie, they're definitely getting that. I just wanted a little bit more of the personal stuff.
Yeah, I mean they definitely lost stories though. I honestly think it's just kind of it's part of the Warner Brothers transition slash like how do I put this? Because it's not the transition necessarily that affected it. It's more of just them being so hit and miss with it, even with the new leadership they had before James Gunn took it over. That it was, like we love Suicide Squad, and not everybody did. They had some decent movies, but overall it was just like, yeah, like again, in reports of Aquaman being horrible. It's not painting a good picture, and it just sounds like it was just needed to be done just to check off the list. Like, okay, this is off our slate. Let's let's get everything done, kind of thing. So again, that's what I'm saying. That's why I brought up James Gunn. Like, I'm hoping all the properties gonna be taken better care of, and it's gonna feel more like an actual challenger to Marvel's movies in a positive way. Like, I'm gonna go see both. I don't give a shit, but it's just try and keep the quality just like that. So that's all.
Yeah. Just because, this movie just definitely feel like an executive was like, just make it bigger, let's just do this and action and stuff. We don't need much of the character. James Gunn doesn't seem like that kind of person, so we'll see how those movies turn out.
I just imagine you, Bernie, behind a desk with just the big old glasses, a cigar. Just, how much bigger can we make it? I told your dad. It's like, all right, God, we're going.
I would just be the executive that's like the Kylo Ren meme, just more. Just add more explosions.
You want to be a star, don't you? Now take it off. Just okay. All right, man. Anyways, guys, what did you think of this movie? If you saw it, did you like it? Did you hate it? Have you not seen it yet, or do you want to see it still? Especially after hearing our thoughts on it, we'd love to know. Also, there are 2 post-credit scenes. In my opinion, you don't have to stay for them because, again, the DC universe is going to change after Flash, essentially. So, your call. Maybe if you want to sit and just chill, up to you. But in all honesty, I don't think it's worth it. So, again, guys, so stay tuned for our Mandalorian review, as well as John Wick Chapter 4. I cannot wait for it. I am so excited. Hope everybody is too. And as always, stay bodacious and keep on ranting for us.
Absolutely, everybody. Be good, be safe, and as always, we'll catch y'all on the next one.